Okay, welcome back to another episode of Third and 23. I'm your host, Alex, here to continue on with my picks and predictions for week 10 of the NFL season. We came into this week 19 and 16, did a Thursday night game, my second Thursday night game of the season, and whiffed on both. Took the Ravens, we laid the points. It's fourth down. Joe Burrow completes a pass to, I believe it was a tight end, could have been a receiver. I don't think the guy made it to the 40-yard line. I thought the knee touched down, and the ball was still behind the 40-yard line. Officials gave them the first down though. The Bengals go down the field, score a touchdown, they go for two, they don't win. Obviously, the Ravens won the game, but we don't cover. And one thing you can really know from that game is that Ravens secondary is terrible. Whether they just get beaten man coverage or guys just don't know what they're doing. But blown assignments everywhere. It's a bad pass defense. But that said, we press on. Patriots, we got two games on this video. Patriots at the Bears. A 6-point favorite in this game. Two rookie quarterbacks going at it. You got Drake May for the Patriots, who didn't start the season playing. Just kind of learned from the sideline. Probably should have learned more from the sideline, as the Patriots aren't going to do anything this season. But they've played him the last few games, and he's looked pretty good. Then you got the Bears, Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams started day one. He was the first overall pick, and he's looked pretty bad for most of the season, I would say. When he hasn't looked bad though is when he's been at home. His last 3 games at home, he's over 8 yards per pass attempt with a 7-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. So he's looked good at home. His issues on the road, as you saw last week against Arizona, he looked terrible. Going to be at home for this one. So when we're looking at this game, you're saying the Patriots dead last in the NFL in passing yards per game at 153 yards per game. Obviously, that's a lot of Jacoby Brissett in there. They've looked better with Drake May. Drake May's been you could say roughly over 200 yards a game. But they're going against a really tough, stingy Bears pass defense. I mean, even though they got blown out by Arizona, I mean, they D'd up on Kyler Murray last week. So this Bears secondary's looked for real. So this is going to be a pretty tough test for Drake May and what I consider the worst wide receiving core in the NFL. So I think that's a big advantage, major advantage for Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears side. The Patriots defensively, they haven't looked good against the pass. They haven't looked good against the run. Caleb should have an opportunity with his receivers and his running game to be able to move the ball in this game. And again, he's playing at home. He's played better at home. So this is going to be a game that I think Caleb is going to look good in relative to how he's looked the rest of, for the majority of this season. And then one major note I want to just point out is red zone efficiency. The Bears have actually been outstanding in the red zone this year, both offensively and defensively, and you can't really say anything about the Patriots. So this is a game where you might see the Bears ending drives with touchdowns and the Patriots ending drives with field goals, which could be the difference in that 6-point spread. So for me, the bottom line is I just don't think May's going to really move the ball that well through the air. And then Ramondre Stevenson's kind of had to come back down to earth, kind of past few weeks. So I don't know if he's going to really be able to pick up the slack. So I like Chicago, and I'm going to lay the 6. We're going with the Bears again, like we did last week, and they burned us. But we keep it moving. Next game, on to the Bills, 4-point favorite at the Colts. I haven't seen this spread move at all. Bills, they're in my top 5 for my power rankings, one of the best teams in the NFL this season against a Colts team that is trying to figure out if they're going to make the playoffs or if they're going to turn into a top 12 type NFL draft pick team. So when I look at this game, the Colts, obviously we all know they've gone to Joe Flacco. Anthony Richardson is out. What people don't know, or what people, I guess, refuse to admit when they're looking between Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco is while Anthony Richardson was erratic with the football and maybe didn't have the best attitude, he was hitting big plays. Joe Flacco, this offense goes from big plays to, from lightning to like a lighter. You know what I mean? This offense is not making explosive plays downfield with Joe Flacco. He's 6.6 pass yards per attempt, which matches what the Bills do defensively. So I don't think the Colts are going to do much through the air in this game. By the way, Michael Pittman is out for this game. So it's going to be Joe Flacco to Josh Downs. Josh Downs is a good player, but he's more of a slot guy who gets a lot of stuff underneath. He's not stretching the field. So who's going to stretch the field in this game? You got Alec Pierce, but Joe Flacco's not getting that ball out there to him. So I think this is a big advantage for the Bills secondary. Another thing to note is turnovers. I mean, Josh Allen hasn't thrown up a ton of yards this season, but he's been managing the game, efficient with the ball, has rarely turned it over. This team is number one in the NFL in turnover differential. While you look at the Colts, they've given it up the ball away 13 times this season, 28th in the league. You could say, a lot of that is Anthony Richardson, but Flacco's turned the ball over too. So let's not sit here and pretend that he hasn't. Now, one thing I will say is when you're looking at the Colts offensively, when you take out Joe Flacco, you got the running game, right? You got Jonathan Taylor's average 83 yards per game this season, 4.8 yards a carry. Colts got a strong running attack, and the Bills aren't that strong against the run. If you look at their yardage per game this season, you might think, oh, they're not so bad. But the reality is Buffalo's usually in the lead because of Josh Allen's efficiency of moving the ball and controlling the game. That teams have to pass the ball. But when teams have ran the ball and committed to the running game, they have had success against the Bills this season. So Jonathan Taylor can do that and keep the Colts in this game. But at the end of the day, Josh Allen is going to make plays to extend drives, to extend the lead, and I think that's going to take Jonathan Taylor and the Colts out of, or Jonathan Taylor in the running game out of this, and it's going to be put on Joe Flacco's arm. Joe Flacco to Josh Downs, and I mean, I'm guessing Alec Pierce might be thrown into the mix a little. It's not going to be enough. He's not going to be able to keep pace. I like Buffalo to control this game and to cruise in this one. I'm going to take the Bills and I'm going to lay the 4 as I think they're going to extend their lead. This is going to be one of those kind of close to for 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter they go on ahead and guarantee the cover. So anyway, that wraps it up for this video. That's 2 NFL games I got here on tap for you. I am going to have probably 3 other games for you tomorrow morning. I'm not going to do the game in Germany, so that one's out. So we're going to take a break from betting against Carolina this week, though I would have taken the Giants. And but I'll have 3 more games on you on tap tomorrow morning once I hear some injury news come out. So, anyways, if you like the content, please like, follow, subscribe, all of that. As you're going to see my YouTube handle here in a few seconds. Take care.